Hi everyone, today I'm going to take you on a quick journey into the architecture of the Aegean during the Bronze Age, roughly between 3000 and 1100 BCE. This includes three major cultures, the Minoan and the Mycenaean, each of them built in very different ways, and together they laid the foundations for later Greek architecture. Let's start with the Cycladic islands. Their architecture was simple and practical. Houses were small, rectangular, and made of stone and mud brick. Many settlements were built on hills for protection. Nothing monumental, but very functional for everyday island life. They create structures that looked as if they had been formed by natural processes. Then we move to Crete, and this is where things get really impressive. The Minoans built large palaces like Knossos, Phaistos, and Zakros. These weren't just royal homes, they were political, religious, and economic centers. Their palaces had central courtyards, staircases, light wells, and storage rooms. The walls were decorated with colorful frescoes, showing nature and rituals. One of their most iconic features were their columns. They tapered downward, meaning they were wider at the top and narrower at the bottom. Painted in bright colors, Minoan architecture feels open, light, and artistic. Now, on the mainland, we find the Mycenaeans built in a completely different style. Their cities were like fortresses with huge stone walls called Cyclopean masonry, so massive that later people thought giants had built them. The heart of their palaces was the Megaron, a large rectangular hall with a central hearth and 4 columns, which would later inspire Greek temples. The Mycenaeans also built tholos, or beehive tombs. Like the famous treasury of their architecture was strong, defensive, and monumental. So, if we compare, the Minoans were elegant, colorful, and open, while the Mycenaeans were powerful, defensive, and imposing. Together, they created an architectural legacy that influenced classical Greece, especially in the use of columns, courtyards, and monumental structures. From the simple homes of the Cycladic islands, to the artistic palaces of the Minoans, to the fortress cities of the Mycenaeans, Aegean architecture in the Bronze Age tells us not only how these people lived, but also who they were, and their ideas still shaped the architecture of ancient Greece that we admire today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this journey into the ancient Aegean.